Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to the R training course from the Crash Club, otherwise known as the Crash Course for R. And before you begin your journey into R, or if you're coming back to R and just brushing up, I just wanted to give a little brief introduction to what this course is and who we are as a club. So to start off, um, my name is Michael Toledano, but you call me Mikey. And Sabrina and I are M2s, currently M2s in the year of 2023. And we are co-presidents of the Crash Club, otherwise known as the Coding with Real Applications for Students in Healthcare. And we both have a little background in coding and statistical programming. I have a background in R and SAS, and Sabrina has a background in Python. And we kind of wanted to create a resource for med students at Jacobs to um, have a way to learn R or any programming language in a pretty like focused way that would directly help the research that you're working on. Because a lot of um, times when you're trying to learn coding, it's hard to know where to start and what resources to use. But so yeah, we wanted to just have a kind of like starting off point. I guess that's the next slide. So yeah, we wanted to create a starting off point for you guys to have and start to learn about coding and how to use it in your own research. So what this course is a basic introduction to R, um, mostly focused on skills using um, skills for cleaning up data, for analyzing data, and presenting data. Skills that are very useful when you're, presenting a poster, coming up with a paper, um, is to actually um, use the data that you got from your experiments or from your rotations and actually presenting them to the scientific community and to the public. So specifically, the tools we're going to go through are listed here. And one way or another, it's not going to, you'll see the lessons really aren't like set up always this way, but everything we've included in this lesson, I mean, in this course is covered in the videos. Yeah. So um, the structure of this course is going to be a bunch of pre-recorded videos that we made where uh, it's kind of similar to this where I'm on my laptop recording on Zoom and I go through a certain topic and I'm on R and I um, show you how to use R in whatever specific lesson it is and whatever type of skill we're specifically going over in that video. Um, so, uh, sorry, is also included. We also have um, I have like a set of notes um, that I've included that you'll have access to, and there'll hopefully be practice problems where you can um, solidify the lessons and skills that you've gotten from this course. So, just to reiterate, as I've been saying, this course really isn't about teaching you about data and statistical analysis. It's more so a um, a guide and course on how to just use a statistical programming software. And given that You should be cautious when you're using some of the analyses, even though we're not really using any crazy ones in this course, before you actually um, run it and use it for an experiment, just to make sure that the statistical test that you're doing matches the data that you have and the question, the research question that you're trying to answer. And this is just a random random like YouTube channel, but always um, kind of do, if you don't have like a biostatistician available to you, do a little background research just to make sure that the thing that you're doing, the test that you're doing, is appropriate for the data that you have and the question that you're trying to answer. So, kind of mentioned it. Why we made this? We made this because it's a statistical programming is a pretty useful skill to have in research. It makes your life a lot easier when you are a part of a research team and they want you to do some analysis, because it allows you to recreate um, the uh, analysis or actions you're doing on data in a very easy way, so you don't have to constantly um, do the same thing over and over again where you're like dragging and copying and pasting a lot on in like Excel. This is just like one time. It's like the all you have to do is write your code once, and once you know it works, you can use the same code for a bunch of different things. So, and like I said before, we wanted to provide a spot and a foundation for your programming knowledge, so that you could hopefully, build upon it in the future. Um, and also because we love you guys, we're Jacob's family. So, um, a little bit about the um, guidelines for how to use the resources that we're providing. So I'll just kind of I'll show you guys everything right now. So we're not exactly sure how it's going to be presented and how we're going to store all this data, but I think currently either using like some type of Google Drive or other like OneDrive would be the best way to manage the data. So it's kind of just like a most likely what we're going to be how we're going to be presenting the data. So or of course, so it'll be in like some type of um drive, like I was saying, or folder. And the big three things are so there's the lesson folder. So these are where all the actual videos, the recordings of the videos are going to be. And within each folder, there's going to be the video. Then if we like use relevant code, I'll put the code in the folder as well, and then I'll also put in the data that we use to practice on, so that you can also work alongside the video. Um, then um, there's um, a file called master notes. It's an HTML file that has all of the notes that I wrote from a class that I took in R. And it has everything that's covered in this video, in this series and beyond. So, if you really love coding and you wanna expand your knowledge, you could definitely, start to explore the different areas of this file that isn't covered. So if you click on this from like whatever folder, it tends to just print out the HTML code, which I don't even know what the heck this is. So don't do that. Don't freak out if that happens. You're just gonna just download the file, and then you can open it up in any like browser you have. So like this is what it looks like in our sorry, this is what it looks like just when you open it up. And this you're going to be able to learn how to make a file like this in the R Markdown lesson. But yeah, it's basically like if you have a question, you kind of just like search through this table of contents, and it'll take you right to whatever like issue or type of function you're interested in. You could also, if you can't find it just based on the table of contents, you could always do Command F and search like mutate, and it'll take you to that spot. So, and like I was saying, there's things I didn't go over. Like I didn't do anything with machine learning, or unsupervised learning or GIS. So these are more advanced, I would say, tools that you could use in R and programming, but uh, it just wasn't. I didn't think it would be as relevant because it's not like as wide ranging as some of the other things. But there's a lot of resources online that can help explain it. So um, the last thing that we're going to hopefully provide are going to be also there's a lesson plan file that like if you want to have an understanding of where like what lesson or what material um, falls into which video, you can use this. It's not really up to date at the moment, but that should be up to date. And then lastly, a set of practice problems are in progress, and those are just going to be kind of like me giving you guys scenarios. I'll give you data, and then you kind of just can figure out a code that gives me the or provides like the answer that's asked upon you, and I'll also provide an answer sheet. And the thing with this is that with coding, there's a lot of different ways to get to the same endpoint. So if you use different code but you got the same thing, always, and it's not a bad thing. It's just um, differences in style and preferences. So um, yeah, that's really it um, for the actual files and resources. And one last thing I'll say before ending this and letting you guys into the course is to not, get discouraged by how long it takes to pick up statistical programming. At first, it's just a lot of information. So you might feel overwhelmed, and especially being in med school, like there's gonna feel like there's so many other things you have to do. So don't worry about mastering this quickly or anything. It should kind of just be something that makes your life easier. So don't let it stress you out. And yeah, that's I wanted to leave this quote that I found was useful to keep in mind when I was learning R and programming for the first time. It's don't be afraid of going slowly, be afraid of standing still. So you're gonna get there regardless as long as you keep putting in the work because a lot of people have done this in the past, and it's once you get the hang of it, it's really not that um, much more difficult than anything you've learned in med school or in college. So yeah, just keep um, pursuing it and being persistent, and you will become proficient in it. So I wish you guys good luck.